Welcome back, everybody, to game number 3, where MUFC and Orange Esports are butting heads. I'm LD. I'm joined here today by GoDz. We're David and David. We are Beyond the Summit, bringing to you this Dota Talk organized, DotaTalk.com organized tournament. GEST Dota 2 Grand Finals action coming your way. $1,000 for first place, $500 for second, and both of these teams guaranteed to get to play in a subsequent follow-up tournament with LGD and possibly DK, a Chinese team yet to be confirmed. GoDz, we are in game 3, and we are seeing some interesting stuff.
Oh, yeah, we are. We're going to see a Shadow Fiend in the hands of Orange, as well as the Magnus. This is something from Southeast Asian Dota we haven't seen much of. The Shadow Fiend, sure. The Magnus, no, not at all. MUFC, they've gone for something what is become pretty standard. The early Queen of Pain pick, not letting Mushi get his hands on that, followed up with the strong Jakiro support Sven, who has been mostly played as a farmer, but can also be a support. But what I'm most interested in right now is this Orange Esports lineup.
I'm real interested in this lineup, and I'm also interested in the laning stage for them. Generally, you would think the Magnus solo mid, the Shadow Fiend getting your safe lane farm, and then, you know, the Rubik probably a support. Magnus, not really. He's an okay offlaner. You can survive with Skewer. I don't know that I've seen many teams use him that way, but it is possible. Yep. But he really does need some levels in farm. He's not quite as effective as a hero like a Tidehunter without them. So I'm curious how they lane this, but Orange, they got some big team fight, and MUFC get a pretty manly hero of their own in the Sven, which we've seen mostly as a support from these teams, but I think might be a carry this game.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards carry, just based on what we're seeing so far. The junglers are still there if MUFC want to get the Chen as well, something which they used that did help them win that first game. But where do they go? What are they expecting to use as a somewhat counter to the Shadow Fiend, the Magnus? I think they want to be aggressive. I think they want to gank a bit. They want to have the strong early game laning stage. Shadow Fiend, he doesn't do that well in the lane. He does get ganked easily. And that's something which MUFC want to try and punish and try and sort of isolate him in these fights. Maybe they go for some sort of aggressive offlaner, which is why we see Bounty Hunter being banned out. Maybe they go offensive trailing. Maybe they get something like that and then pick up a Night Stalker, get something really gank heavy like Night Stalker and just try and shut down Orange here. And I'm still waiting as well to see Sharky on that Nature's Prophet. The Nature's Prophet hasn't come out yet from MUFC.
Nor has it been banned by either team. I don't think we've seen it banned once. Maybe in game number 1. Definitely was on the board in game 2. And we'll see where these teams go the rest of the way with this draft. MUFC, like you mentioned, they do have the tri-lane option. They do have a decent roaming combo, and they're up against pretty gankable heroes. Shadow Fiend, Rubik, relatively gankable, relatively squishy. Magnus, he's a tricky one with Skewer, but it has such a long cooldown that if he's ever forced to use it once, you have about, I think it's a 30-second, 40-second window to come back in and go for round 2.
Yeah, it's a small little window where you have to sort of make use of your time, get in there, get out, and then regroup and try and take the next fight. But for next couple of bans here, be interested to see what Orange are actually afraid of, as these offlane heroes have been their primary ban target so far. So many offlane heroes haven't been banned out. Darkseer, Batrider.
And GoDz microphone also banned out from this game. No GoDz for us. In and out he comes. I think you're back now.
Me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're back. I can hear you.
Okay. All right. I don't know.
Stop jiggling the cords, damn it, GoDz.
Don't take that out of context.
I said the chords. So yeah, I guess it could be. We'll let it go.
Before it was stop jiggling it, which definitely yeah. Good. But, Nature's Prophet ban. So all offlane heroes being banned out, and then offlane hero that MUFC love to run. So I don't know what they get instead as an offlane. The Windrunner's been banned out.
Well,
so
there is the Enigma, and there's the Lich.
Oh yeah, they like their Enigma. They've used Lich already this series. Brewmaster for Orange. So Orange have pretty much picked up. I mean, they've revealed most of what they're going to be. What's up with them? You've got the Brewmaster initiation. You've got Magnus with the powerful ulti, the big team fight, and Rubik going to be often played by Ice as a support. Sometimes it's Extinct, but support Rubik is something which is still very strong, and can see Rubik have a big impact even as a support.
There's your Enigma. So no real surprises there. They get what should be Sharky's hero this game. We have seen Ling play it on occasion, but I think it has been Sharky overall a little bit more, although Ling did play it quite recently. So we'll see. Either way, this team, MUFC, we talked about it at the start of game number 1. And guys, I think this is a good time. I did mention sort of the context, but let's just look at the brackets real quickly. This is the grand finals for the GEST Dota 2. Again, both these teams will get some prize money. It's $1,000 for first place. It's $500 for second. And the good news for both these teams is they're qualified for the follow-up event where there'll be 4 teams, LGD, possibly DK, and then these 2 teams. And another, I believe, $1,500 in prizes at stake. A much smaller event and a much shorter road to get that prize money, but also some staunch opponents along the way. But this is game number 3 of a best out of 5, so it won't be a deciding game either way. Series is tied up 1-1 heading into it, so no matter what, we will have a game 4, and possibly we'll have a game 5 as well. They go for the Enigma gods, and I'm wondering about Orange's lanes right now. That's actually the big question, is they don't really have an offlaner. They do have maybe an offensive tri-lane?
Vengeful Spirit. I miss seeing Vengeful Spirit. It's one of my favorite support heroes. I don't know if it's the model, just the skill set. Something about Vengeful Spirit. It's a fun hero to see. It's generally pretty aggressive, but even when you're playing on the back foot, swap as a defensive skill is just really fun to see used, and it has so many possibilities as to what you can do with this. So Orange, possible offensive tri-lane with the VS, Rubik, and one more. I'm just amazed that they actually went for Eventual Spirit as their support option here, but pleasantly surprised.
This is a sad game for Enigma. He's up against Rubik. He's up against Magnus. He's up against Brewmaster and Venge. That's a lot of heroes. You have 2 heroes who can stop his ult no matter what, pretty much, with the Rubik ult, or Telekinesis until he gets BKB. Steal the Black Hole. Use it back against him, and you have Swap, you do have Magic Missile. Reverse Polarity, if you can get around to the side of him where you don't get caught in the Black Hole, that will cancel it as well. So I don't know about, we may not see very many effective Black Holes this game. This is going to be a tough game to land those. Of course, Enigma does a lot more than that, but MUFC go for, I guess it's a Lady Enigma. They go for Lane's Enchantress. They want to be very aggressive, and I think this does sort of pick at the weakness of Orange to some extent.
It does. It's something with a laning stage where they can be ganked quite easily. They have got heroes like Shadow Fiend, hard to escape those ganks. Brewmaster, Mag. I mean, Mag has got the skewer to get out of it. It's a 1200 range skewer, but it's a long cooldown. Brewmaster, VS, Rubik, not heroes that are easy to avoid those Enchantress ganks. So we may see something like an offensive tri-lane. Maybe just a safe tri-lane. Look to push down early towers. Either way, there's a potential for MUFC to be very, very aggressive. And MUFC, they've gone with some interesting different roles. Ken is actually playing the Enigma. What's going on in the world of Dota LD? I've been told by a certain someone that Sharky is the only Enigma player on this MUFC team. Turns out that's not true.
Mr. Blue, we're looking at you. Called out, shots fired. Well, in his defense, they both have played it, but if you're gonna be making those big tweets, you best have all the evidence in the world to back you up. So, on a more irrelevant and important note, we have Ken on the Enigma. We have Ohio on the Queen of Pain, Lane on the Enchantress, Sharky on the Sven, and Net or 10 on the Jakiro. Interesting. It looks like some potential aggression. Enigma probably to solo that safe lane. Forgot to spend his gold, but he's going to spend it now.
Yep, and for the Radiant side, it is a Mushi Shadow Fiend. It's been sort of... I know a lot of Yamato fans out there are going to be a little upset not seeing him on the Shadow Fiend, but it's been Mushi's hero as of late, and boy has he been playing it well. We have got KYXY, aka Ice Ice, playing the Magnetor. We've got Vengeful Spirits in the hand of Ice, Extinct playing the Rubik. Bit of a Mexican standoff at bottom lane. Is there going to be initiation? And finally, Yamato on the Brewmaster. It looks like MUFC, they want to go offensive tri-lane here, but they also don't want to have a level 1 clash against 5 heroes.
Exactly. And you know, it also comes down to the warding in this situation. They do see Queen of Pain head towards mid, and this prompts Orange to get a little bit more aggressive. Orange have some great single target initiation. What they lack is really any AoE in the early levels, especially with the Panda soloing. Or no, sorry, he's a part of the tri-lane. I thought it was going to be the Magnetar here, but Magnetar soloing, Panda in the tri-lane, and then Shadow Fiend possibly soloing mid. Oh, they're going to catch Twin-Headed Dragon. Where's that Stormbolt? Where's that Ice Pass? Stormbolt to start. Now from low ground to high ground comes KYXY, roaring on in this beastly Magnus. First blood claim by the Radiant, and they want to. Orange want to get off to a quick start in this game. They did not expect the drive-by. They did not expect the body block from that 315 move speed behemoth, and off the bat, 2 quick kills for Orange. And actually, sorry, I think the first blood went to the Radiant, but I didn't get a kill notification for the third kill.
It did go to the Radiant. Yeah, first blood went to the Radiant. 315 movement Magnetor, so a 315 pound Magnetor. That guy is just massive, bloody blocking. Pretty damn well. And Orange, they start off with 4 heroes bottom, and that's how you deal with an offensive trial. And that's going to force Enchantress straight back top. MUFC wanted to have the Enchantress there, being aggressive, getting early ganks off. But when there's 4 heroes, no way can you get even close to this jungle. And MUFC, their plan right off the bat gets forced to go into something different. They've got Sven now farming at the top lane. They're going to have both Enigma and Enchantress in the jungle for the time being, and it's an off lane. Jakiro, Net is suddenly like, wait guys, what's going on? How did you leave me here alone at bottom lane?
This was not the plan. This was not the plan with their draft, and you know, it's to some extent, it's kind of the weak point of the draft. I guess Enigma could be there, but at the same time, it's just, he's not going to get anything, so you're better off sacrificing the Jakiro. Don't waste the potential of the best jungler in the game as far as just raw leveling speed goes. It's too much to give up, and if they do that, they fall behind Orange in other ways, so I do like how they adjust this, but they are sacrificing Net nonetheless. He's going to get nothing, whereas Magnus is going to get something.
Yeah, the 2 jungle farmers are managing all right to get farm, and as well as XP. And you look at Orange, they're using pools on Rubik as well as Vengeful Spirit. They're stacking up the big camps, just using these pools, but it's not something they can farm immediately in the near future. It's something which they'll have to wait till later. With Shadowfiend, Mushi at mid lane, he's going to be looking to come in once he's level 7 with the max out raises to farm some of those big camps. And he's also stacking that small camp. He loves to do this when he's Shadowfiend up against a tough matchup like Queen of Pain. He says, okay, I can farm later. I'm in no rush to win the early game farm war.
Yeah, this is something Mushi is very disciplined about, is stacking that small camp. We've seen him play the solo mid Shadowfiend twice now. In both games, he's stacking it and macking it constantly every time he possibly can. The only time he won't is if he's already got max souls and there's creeps to be had in the middle lane. And in fact, both heroes played aggressively. Ohio will be forced back. Will blink safely out of the C-Raze range. Notice how Mushi always holds on to the longest range Raze, saves it for last. So if Queen of Pain tries to run without blinking, she gives up a kill there, but does blink away and will survive. Magnus up to level 4 off, I guess off the backs of some of those early kills. This is a level 4 Magnus at less than 3 minutes in. GoDz, is he experience hacking this game? This is kind of insane.
Yeah, he's doing amazing as an offlane. Jakiro still stuck on a lonely level 1. Here comes some possible aggression from VS as well as Rubik, forcing Jakiro just to constantly be tower hugging here. And Net, like you mentioned, he can't do anything in this bottom lane. Maybe he's better off joining up with the jungling Enchantress and look for a gank on Mushi at mid, look for a gank maybe on top on the Magnus, because he's not achieving much at all at bottom. He's not stacking the Ancients, he's not getting any farm or any XP whatsoever. He's really just been forced to be very ineffective, and it comes down to MUFC. They get pushed out of the bottom lane. They wanted to go offensive tri lane, but it's just not working for him.
I am not pleased. If you're an MUFC fan, you cannot be happy with their lane control top. Again, the creep wave pushes into the tower. This is going to be 5, 6, maybe 7 creep waves that Magnetar gets easily without even being in danger. Now, he isn't a horrible off-lane hero. He will get some farm anyway because he's got that escape ability. He's got a long-range nuke that can be used to farm, but they're giving it to him for free. He's not even having to work for it, and this is something that it just shows a bit of a lack of discipline. And MUFC, I think this is a big mistake. I think that's the one advantage they could have had over Orange was, you know, shutting down the offlane, and then, sure, your offlane gets shut down, but you have these 2 junglers. It's something Orange don't have, but they're not really using it to the best ability.
Yeah, it's something that Orange making the most of for the late game. And here we go. Ken at the top lane. He's come around from behind. They want to get this Magnus. So Skewer as an escape spell with 1200 range is the way to avoid this game. Sven is leading the way. There's just your first stun. Need to see a Skewer soon. It should be working okay now, LD. Skewer's back, and oh my god. Sharky. What a troll. This is like Demon Dota all over again. This is you still think that's KYXY, guys? Think again.
This is someone said GoDz confirmed that was KYXY, but they may have gotten it backwards. This may be a mysterious ice in the house. That he is a very similar player to Demon in that respect. Just so ballsy, so aggressive, and cheeky play from him. Is going for the Soul Ring. And, you know, one of the really nice things about the offlane Magnus GoDz is he has incredible anti-push. I would say better than even heroes like Windrunner, because his nuke is so cheap. It's got such a low cooldown, it's so cheap, and he even wants to go on to Sharky. He could charge up onto the high ground, but He's got too much backup. Sharky is still just waiting for backup, waiting for this TP scroll, slowly being ferried out of there. What an absolute pain in the rear.
Ken wants to pass it to him on the high ground here, but that is a bit of an investment here. Oh, no, Ken actually, can he pass it to him? It doesn't look like he's able to do so. They bring the courier. Okay, courier's there. And, oh, poor Sharky.
He's level 6. Does anyone have a TP? Because they might be able to defend this. They're going to think about a Panda's TP, and he does have his ult. This could be a great fight, but the Storm Bolt from the high ground helping to keep him alive. Insurges the Magnetor. Doesn't have his Soul Ring. I think it might be on the courier. Yamate comes in, could clap this, doesn't want to blow the ult, won't blow it. Is that Soul Ring on the courier? No, doesn't have it yet. Sven is still trapped on the friggin' hill. He threw a Storm Bolt. Now he can't TP out, and they're going to come back in for him. Sharky tries to TP. They don't have vision. He will escape. But that was a lot closer than you want it to be.
Yeah, this is a very unusual start to a game here. Big TP commitment from Orange to the top lane. They don't get any kills, and they do lose their tower there. So that's something MUFC can smile about. And mid lane is Shadowfiend, who's managing to catch up in farm and actually almost gets a solo kill on Ohio. Forces the blink out. Did still have the long range, doesn't throw it. Queen of Pain was out of range, but Shadowfiend is caught up to the Queen of Pain in terms of farm.
If he had just double raised instantly there, that would have been a kill. But I guess Mushi, expecting a quicker reaction from the Queen of Pain, then was like, wait a second, you waited a second to blink away. That I wasn't expecting, and, well, does miss the kill, but, God, more importantly, he's farming like a champ. He's got 28 souls. I think that's the max for this level. Yeah, he's only got level 3 Necromastery. And what can MUFC do to gank him? They've got tons of ganking heroes. They've got this pressure lineup, but with the Panda having the ult and the Magnetar, suddenly if you overextend, you could easily get team wiped.
Oh yeah, the team fight potential from Orange is pretty damn scary here. MUFC, they do have the level 6 Enigma now with the Black Hole, but if Brewmaster gets his off first, then sure, this Primal Split Pandas do get caught in the Black Hole, but you're not killing that Primal Split all during that duration. Oh, Yamato runs right into the Enigma. Telekinesis is there. We're going to have to see a Black Hole from Ken. Oh, he doesn't drop it, and he's not going to drop it onto the Primal Splits because the immolation from the Fire Pan would have finished him off anyway. So, kill for Orange, and it's looking pretty good for them so far. Enchantress hasn't really found enough ganks and enough pressure, I feel, to have been really worthwhile at this top lane.
For the moment, it's looking really good for Orange. Gold experience does favor MUFC. For the moment, at least, Gold does. Experience now dipping towards Orange. But, guys, this is much more about... This is a game where the graphs are deceiving. This is a game where it's about hero composition. It's about which heroes are having a good start. And all of the important heroes for this Radiant squad are getting what they need. Magnetar's got his ult. Now he can farm well. By the way, he will be a really nice complement to the Shadowfiend later on once he starts getting points in Empower. This buffs your carry. This makes your carry do a lot more with less items. And I think Orange are just in a commanding position at this point, despite technically being behind as far as Gold goes.
Yeah, the Gold is entirely that one tier 1 tower, but it's the Shadowfiend who's farming well at mid lane. They've got the levels on the Panda and Brewmaster as well as the Mag to have those ultimates come into play. And all these big neutral stacks, Mushi's going to go farm them soon. There's one especially just waiting for him in this jungle, and that's going to be a lot of farm. Get him that BKB up very, very quickly.
MUFC is going to apply some pressure bottom. 9 minutes in, they do have a level 4 Jakiro. They have a level 8 Sven with this power trades. Enigma Black Hole's up. They're going to surge in. Warcry to start this off. Decent positioning from Orange. Ice Path will miss. What a play! Charging is the Magnus, but he gets Maleficent while trying to cast that reverse polarity. Pulling 2 back in. Catching them out. There's your AoE. Where's the follow-up? Black Hole is here. Ken fishing. Ken angling. Still can't find it. Yamate. Black Hole will catch 1. Won't catch X, though, and X bursts him down. Mushi comes in from the back line to play. Ohio forced away. 3 heroes dead. We talked about counter initiation, and there is a heavy dose of counter initiation.
Wow, what a nice bit of play there. Fantastic skewer. I thought Ice was in a bit of trouble there when he got Maleficent. He couldn't get the ultimate off to follow it up, but he just waited it out. He tanked it up with that stout shield, keeping him alive. And once he got it off, the fight just turned around, and Orange Esports never looked back. They take out 3 kills. They had a couple heroes surviving very low in HP, and Enigma just couldn't get in position to get off the Black Hole that he was after. So MUFC forced back once again, forced to go play, to continue farming the lanes. We're going to see MUFC look for a kill on Mushi, and it looks like they're going to get it with a Queen of Pain ultimate. No, they turn it around. Telekinesis. Mushi going to fight his way out of this one. Does go down, but he takes the Queen of Pain with him and gets the XP for it as well. So nice play from Mushi. He was dead regardless. He fires back. Mushi says, screw you guys, I'm going to keep on farming. I don't want to spend any time dead whatsoever. He wants to farm this big stack. He's TP'd directly towards the bottom jungle.
And it will give him a ton of souls as well as gold. And in that sense, well, now you can start stacking it again. So it's sort of like buying back when your Midas is off cooldown and you can use it again. In a sense, it's not just a rage buyback. It is a little bit more efficient than that. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see. He's mostly made back, I think, the gold that he spent. A little bit less, but still doing pretty well. Magnetar is the basic items up, level 7. Reverse polarity is up. You know, one of the other issues I see for MUFC in this game, GoDz, is they seem to rely kind of on this Enigma ult, and the problem with that is Orange have two equally big teamfight ults in reverse polarity and Panda ult, which I think both have lower cooldowns. Bottom lane, Mushi gets caught out. There's your imps. There's your AoE. He just bought back. He does not want to die right now. In comes Magnetar, driving one away. Pulls them both back in with reverse polarity, but doesn't actually secure the kill. And now it's going to turn around. 4 heroes grouped up for MUFC. Magnetar to fall. Yamate streaming towards the bottom lane. Went for a drum. Didn't go for the blink. Ice TP's in. Why didn't he cancel it? Oh no, Orange just kind of throwing away a big lead here.
Well, that was unnecessary. That big, definitely agree. Shadow Fiend getting caught up after buying back, and then they lose the Magnetor as well as VS as well. The VS kill especially unnecessary, and MUFC get a tower out of that. So with that, MUFC, well, they were never out of this game, but they take back the slight lead that Orange had, and it now looks like they're the ones in a slightly better position. They've got Sven, no longer stuck on a cliff, trying to get some farm up. He's got an Ogre Club sapping his BKB, and with these tier 1 towers being taken down, MUFC getting slightly better map control up.
That really set Mushi back. That buyback, now he's sitting at 3k net worth. He is way behind, well, the Brewmaster, and the Sven, he's slightly behind him as well. Now, we've talked about Shadow Fiend. He's a great comeback carry, a hero that can have a bad start, but especially if the neutrals are being stacked, and just in general, he kills creep waves quickly. It doesn't cost him much mana. Mushi can catch up, and, you know, again, he's got a lineup where he doesn't have to build tons. I talked about he doesn't have to build tons of damage items. I talked about the Empower, but you also have a Vengeful Spirit, who hasn't gone for Vengeance Sara yet, but you still have a lot of Midas armor. Once that Vengeance Sara and Empower start getting leveled up, Mushi is going to hit really hard without items. So I think Mushi just needs to rush this BKB at this point, and should be still in a decent position. But it was a lot of gold, a lot of experience, and a lot of map control that Orange gave away in spite of that.
Yeah, it's something that they don't really want to afford to give away. Mushi, though, he's fallen behind before as Shadow Fiend, so he knows he just has to start looking for the places to flash farm, get the BKB up, and once he's got that, he can try contribute in these teamfights. There is a Black Hole to still cancel that BKB ultimate, and well as just lock him down in teamfights. They've got some right-click damage coming out of the Sven, as well as the Queen of Pain to a lesser extent, which they can stack on top of the Black Hole, but it's not going to be an easy game for Shadow Fiend, considering the aggressive way that MUFC want to play this game.
Mushi farming up some Eidolons, has his Ogre Club, is going to be rushing a BKB of his own. Ken is really poor. This is a very poor Enigma for the amount of jungling he was doing. Is there something on the Courier? Nope, and he's going to get swapped in, and will just be immolated, brought down instantly. Ohio blinks away. Ohio will escape. Ohio, another hero who's not farming. It's a lot of eggs in the Sven basket right now.
I feel a lot of these MUFC heroes just slightly behind on farm. Sven, high CS for them with Queen of Pain and Enigma, like sort of 20 CS behind Sven, 70 here, but it's just MUFC, they've put on a lot of pressure, they've taken a few towers, they've gotten some useful kills, but they're not backing it up with farm, which is what Orange are doing. Sure, you see Shadow Fiend getting picked off a couple of times, but Orange overall are getting a couple more kills and getting more farm on this Shadow Fiend as well as the Brewmaster.
Yamate gets caught, there is Imp. Meanwhile, Ruben finds a kill on Queen of Pain. Yamate will be forced to ult. He will do so, and that will force this fight to go the other way. In comes Mushi, wants to bring down Sharky. Magic Missiles here. Sharky should fall, will fall. Now the Requiem of Souls channeled and canceled and then rechanneled enough to bring down lane. The Panda ult looked for a second like it might be a waste, but the timely arrival of Ice and Mushi, they get 2 kills out of that. As well as Queen of Pain dying to the Rubik, who, what has he stolen? Oh, he's stolen Scream of Pain. That is a great spell to have. Against MUFC, this is a very squishy lineup. No mech. Nobody really getting many items yet. The gold suggests that they're farming reasonably well, but I'm not seeing it on the items. You know, it's just Power Charge, Soul Ring, you know, Bracers. They're not getting anything big. I think that's really the difference maker.
Yeah, so far it's just been treads and starting to get some components. Enchanters with a point booster, Sven with a Ogre Club, but they haven't finished any of these items, and they're not really that close, I feel. The Sven maybe about halfway to that BKB, but it's still a bit of a way off, and there's still the spells to deal with. You've got the Mag ulti, you've got Swap, you've got the Brewmaster who can just use his ultimate to survive, and it looks like they may look for another kill in the higher up bottom lane.
And they go with the telekinesis, pulling him back in, charging forward as Magnetor, not able to find that skewer. Blinking away, Ohio should survive. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, the push commences. MUFC grouped up with 4. Sven pops the GoDz Stray, starts choppy away on the creep wave. Now onto the tower. He's actually going for the cleave build. He's not maxing Warcry, which against the minus armor of Orange you'd think would be pretty helpful, but going for more cleave, going for, you know, something that'll just bring down, I suppose, the Panda aspects a bit quicker, and the creep waves. A little more farming oriented from Sharky. The tower being worked away on will drop fairly soon. Yamate's got the blink. He doesn't have the ult. Could blink clap on 3. Will he look to do so? Will he look to deny this tower? Ice is thinking about it. Tower will be claimed by the Dire. All grouped up as 5. Just too dangerous to initiate onto those guys. And with the Enigma Black Hole, really not somewhere you want to get caught. So they opt for the split push, just for defensive play and a bit of a trade.
Well, for now, MUFC, they get a tower. They don't have to engage. They avoid the ultimate, and they get a deny on the tier 1 bottom tower. So a slight win for them. Oh, here goes Magnetor. Gets stunned up. Dives in really far here. Backup is coming in the form of Enigma. Ken is on the chase. Warcry up, giving him some more movement speed, but they're not going to be able to keep up with the Magnetor, who does have stun. Once again, you cannot overextend against this orange team. Otherwise, you will pay for it. With the Mag ulti, the Brewmaster ultimate, even Shadow Fiend, especially once he gets a BKB, he's going to be doing a lot of damage.
Mid lane, the initiation onto net will get caught out. Looks like it was just a side swipe. Magic Missile to start that off. Didn't even use the swap. Magnetar now has a blink. And Orange's initiation double blinks up on the 2 key heroes. The Magnetar, or the Magnus, as well as the Panda. This is going to be hard for MUFC. They really need pristine positioning, which means they need good wards. And, well, Vengeful Spirit, the Punisher of bad positioning. Clap and 1 auto attack. They get the easy kill on Queen of Pain. Lack of wards, lack of control over their own jungle, and just a great sniper lineup from Orange. Ken smokes up and it will almost immediately be dispelled. Yamate blinking away from an impetus charge there. Won't take the damage, won't have his blink put onto cooldown, and Orange, they're in a great position. This tier 1 really can't be defended. Yeah,
Brewmaster level 12, the level 2 ultimate is the key thing here, and he's got this blink, he's got 1200 gold. Yamate with this Brewmaster always has a ton of farm. 5-0-5. He's been playing really well so far. They just get the Eidolons being stolen from Extinct just to help creep skipping here. And Mushi is getting close to this BKB. And it looks like they want to find this pick-off. Brewmaster ultimate goes off. Ling is going to be the target as well as the Enigma. Can't let him get the black hole off. And they don't. Brewmaster takes him out. And they want to chase next. They want to get Ling. Cyclone up in the air. And now they're just going to wait till he comes down and focus him off.
Oh, you know Ice is looking for that big reverse polarity. He will find it at the cost of his own life. Ohio unloads with the ult, doing some good damage. And is going to juke back and forth. Now going in, Enigma bought back, has the black hole. Extinct probably going to die here. Has his mechanism, should buy it before he dies. Still has the money anyway, so I guess not the biggest deal in the world. Mushi running away. Mushi close to his BKB will survive. Yamate TP's out. It did cost an Enigma buyback, but overall, MUFC, Orange a little bit, I guess, reliant on grouping MUFC up, and MUFC did a nice job spreading out there. Reverse polarity only on the Sven, and Magnetar just melted to that Sven.
Yeah, this Sven is starting to hurt. Level 2 ultimate. He hasn't even got his BKB, but he doesn't need it there when he comes in at the right time. Manages to avoid most of the disables, and the Brewmaster ultimate, used that early on. Even with the level 2 ultimate, it didn't last long enough for Orange to take the fight, and they've now got the Shadow Fiend BKB. I don't think they had it that fight, and that was really the one thing missing for Orange.
He didn't die, though. That's the key. If he dies there, he might not be able to buy it. He just finished farming it. Now with the BKB... Oh, sorry, he didn't. It's Mushi, so he probably had it on the courier forever, or in the fountain, and just chose not to purchase it. He's actually got another 1,200 gold. Yeah, had the components in the base. Mushi, well, GoDz, he was behind. He was a good 1,500 gold, 2,000 gold behind the Panda. Died twice in a row after a buyback. Died again, and then has stormed back into this game. Is now the lead farmer, and it's tower gold that's really doing it. MUFC are only breaking even in towers. They should be ahead with their lineup.
Yeah, they should be slightly ahead. Sven, his net worth slightly misleading. He's got his BKB sitting on the ground at base, so he's going to jump up. But he's still behind the Brewmaster. He'll be sitting around 6k-ish. There we go. Yeah, he's still 1,000 gold behind the Brewmaster, couple thousand gold behind Shadow Fiend. So MUFC behind on farm, and that's with the early game tower gold. The towers have been evened up since then by Orange. So really, for Orange, they're winning most of these fights, and even fights like that recent one, which they didn't do too well in, their key heroes, the Shadow Fiend, doesn't go down. They do get out of there without losing the Brewmaster. They just lose Magnetor as well as a support or two. So it's not really any crucial kills that MUFC are picking up.
Oh, well, they want to try and pick up another non-crucial kill on this Vengeful Spirit, who's gone back for the Vengeance Aura. Is leveling that up, and I want to see how much damage Shadow Fiend does when he's got Empower. Even at level 1, it still does a decent amount. Empower and the Vengeance Aura, they're going to go in on Ohio. Ohio will get caught out with the Invisrun and just brought down instantly. I love the Magnetar just charging in there and just zapping her away with that Shockwave. And now maybe they look to push Reverse Polarity off cooldown, Panda ult off cooldown, Gem up on this Panda. You talked about how well Yamate has played this game. He is 6-0-7. Been in on 13 of 16 kills, showing that there are two gods in Orange. There's the Y God, and there's the M God, and Yamate doing a great job so far. I love this early gem. I just think it's so much easier for Orange to control the map than MUFC. They have so many more counter-initiation heroes. They have so many ways to just take a team fight, whether it's Rubik stealing a black hole, a Vengeful Spirit swap, the Blink initiations. That allows them to be aggressive with their positioning. That allows them to do some dewarding, and now it's MUFC gods. They're completely in the dark.
Yeah, and with that, something that Orange do want to take is Roshan. They've got their BKB on Shadow Fiend. They'd love to get him an Aegis as well as his next big item up fairly soon. Mushi, though, TPing top, taking this farm for the time being, and the rest of Orange are quite happy to pressure this tier 2 mid tower, even without the backup, something they do need to be careful doing with Shadow Fiend not there.
Oh, Ice trying to get fancy, trying to get a little bit tricky. In comes Link with the heal, maybe hoping to bait some spells. Reverse Polarity catches 2, Clap on 3. There is a BKB spend, though, and he is looking rather manly. Where is the follow-up? Nobody here, like you said. Mushi is top. He is frantically charging mid. Ohio trying to survive in the trees. 1 raise, 2 raises, whiffs the raise, then finds him with the auto attack. Sharky gonna go. Look at the cleave. He's almost killing Mushi. Now the Requiem bringing him down. Triple kill for Mushi on a bit of a roll here. And that they started that fight without him, gods. They didn't have the Requiem of Souls on top of the Reverse Polarity, and still they come out on top.
Well, the big thing there was Sven used his BKB, and Orange, they backed off. They didn't allow him to do enough damage during the BKB duration. Most of his damage was dealt when he wasn't even in BKB form there at the end. But by then, Orange had somehow sort of edged out MUFC in that fight, and MUFC now, once again, slightly on the back foot and struggling to find the initiation needed. They kind of just go Rambo in, and the problem is MUFC, their initiator of that fight was an Enchantress. Enchantress ran in from behind, did have the heal on from full HP, but then by the time the fight was sort of really heating up, the heal was about wearing off, and MUFC were kind of all over the place, and it just wasn't a reliable initiation having an Enchantress run in. They need Sven to go in. Well, I mean, Sven to some extent needs to go in, but they also need Enigma with a Blink Dagger here, I feel.
Right, it's what we've talked about. The Enigma just not farming. Spent a lot of time trying to help the team, got picked off a few times, sitting currently at 1-5. Actually even worse than I had realized. He is really struggling. And it's so easy to find these picks. It's just Orange again, they just have such a great pick-off lineup, and the only way to counter that is really good defensive wards. But how do you have good defensive wards up when there's a Panda with the gem? The answer is you probably don't.
Yeah, it's been really hard, and Orange are very proactive as far as dewarding goes. They'll send Rubik to go along with the Brewmaster, get the high ground dewarding happening, and now MUFC very limited in what they can do. There's an Observe Ward placed by Jakira, which they're going to hope doesn't get dewarded, but look at the vision. It doesn't give vision down into the river. Because of that little area around Roshan, it does sort of deny Observe Ward's vision. You can't get vision inside. It makes it a lot harder.
Oh no, this is bad.
Sven down, doesn't get the BKB off, so MUFC may find themselves under siege very, very soon at the mid lane.
He just bought a Bracer. Now, wouldn't have had buyback anyway. This is not a good sign when your Sven is 24 minutes in and he's going back for Bracers. They are very cost efficient on the hero, don't get me wrong, but it's 24 minutes in. Even though you're getting a lot of damage from God's Strength, even from, that plus 6 strength. This is not the kind of item you want. Not when Mushi has a completed butterfly. Look at the damage. This is with the DD rune, but he's still probably hitting for plus 180, maybe even close to plus 200.
This is a scary amount of farm on Mushi. On the Shadow Fiend, he's up to 200 creep kills now, and just with a ridiculous amount of farm, he's going to go bottom. He's going to keep on farming. The rest of his team, Orange are just so confident. Once again, they're just fighting and pushing with 4 because of the team fight capabilities of the Brewmaster and the Magnetor. They feel they've got enough, not so much enough damage, but just enough survivability that they can maybe find a pick off, and they're just deep warding as well. They're getting up map control for their team.
By the way, Extinct has managed to steal Stormbolt, so just another AoE stun for this team, which already has quite a few AoE nukes, quite a few single target lockdown spells, and another reliable form of initiation, which, oh, by the way, chases Queen of Pain. MUFC, their backs firmly pressed against that wall. The wall's starting to kind of crumble behind them, and soon they may be falling backwards through it where it used to stand. They're going to smoke up and try and force a fight here. It's kind of a desperation move, to be honest, because Orange, you got to really catch their whole team to make this work. And GoDz, they're even going up the low ground onto the high ground. This does not look like a good initiation path. They all get revealed. Where's that Magnetar ult? Orange have seen them. Orange have spotted them. Blinking forward is going to be that Magnetar driving one up onto the high ground. Has the reverse polarity. Stuns the Sven. The BKB wasted. Black hole on 2, but it will be stolen by Extinct. This is very, very bad news, except he cancels it immediately. Oh, boy. I still think they lose this fight, though.
Well, the question is, whose Black Hole was worse? Enigma's only hitting the primal split warriors of Yamata. Orange coming out with a couple of kills on top. It's now a chase onto Sharky. Sharky trying to TP out. Not enough damage from Mushi, which is not something I'd expect to be saying at this point in the game, but he doesn't bring down Sharky fast enough. And, well, Orange, they get 2 kills on support heroes. They do lose the mag. It's still a fight where Brewmaster, Shadowfiend still alive, still farming, and MUFC pushed back, possibly going to lose a tier 2 tower out of this as well. So, decent fight from Orange. Black Hole no longer stolen. He gets the Stormbolt once again, and this is a scary amount of killing potential with this trio of heroes at top if they can find a pick-off.
That was the Shadow Fiend without the Vengeance R near him, without Empower on his hero. If he has those 2 on him, there's no way that you can TP out against that. Would have been too much damage. He still hits reasonably hard. I don't know what you do at this point if you're MUFC. Like, to be totally honest, as long as they catch the Sven with reverse polarity, you don't have enough damage, and his BKB's getting low. It's getting to the point where 1 reverse polarity, he's done for the fight. His BKB is wasted.
Yeah, it's going to get difficult, and even if they don't get the reverse polarity to him, they can just dodge him, kite him around a bit. They keep Brewmaster has the ultimate survives. Shadowfiend still has this Aegis, up to 3.6k gold. We'll see that Manta style, maybe not even go for Manta style, may just continue going for pure DPS with something like a Daedalus. Maybe we'll see another Radiance, the big disappointing wet shower, cold shower that is the Radiance on Mushi, when everyone wants to see a Rapier. But with the Aegis, he could even consider the Divine Rapier.
Or the Radiance.
Or the Radiant. Everyone loves a good Radiant Shadow Fiend.
It's clearly the best item in the game for him. He's really getting up to that point as well, where, just with his items alone, I don't know that they can deal with him. And this is also the bit of an advantage you get from having a 600 range carry instead of a melee carry. Sure, Sven's got some good cleave, but he's still got to be standing next to something to hit it to get that cleave going. Mushi can wail away at you from a safe distance, so that makes it the positioning easier in the team fights. It makes also life harder for MUFC to close the gap with him and to get the openings they need. The composition of this Orange lineup, it's just... It just came down to the laning stage as well, where they just got such a quick advantage off of that fight, GoDz, at the very beginning of the game. Like you said, offensive tri-lane over, Enchantress gonna go back to her own jungle, and really Orange has never looked back since then. They've had some slip-ups, but never really looked back.
It really feels like Orange have just known they've been in control of this game from start to finish. Even when MUFC won a fight here or there were a couple dips at times, which went MUFC's way, but it's never been kills on the big heroes, kills on the Shadow Fiend. Yamata still hasn't died once this entire game, and Orange now looking to start pressure the high ground, looking to start taking a set of racks. They've got this Aegis for about 1 minute more, and they're going to try and make sure that they can use this while it's up. Mushi's just going to be in the front lines, hitting away on this tier 3 tower. Quite happy to go down if he's got the Aegis.
Casual Demon Edge, no problem at all. Sharky just dying to the auto attacks. No chance for him. Now Magnetar driving back in 1. In comes Ken. Black Hole. Mushi backsteps, and Mushi just swats him down from behind. Oh boy, that Swagger Fiend is strutting around, feeling comfortable, feeling confident. The Black Hole stolen by Extinct again. Oh boy, this as though they could have won a fight without that happening. Definitely no chance with it happening.
Well, this time he doesn't PGG it up. This time he gets off the full duration Black Hole. Does get a kill out of it, but Orange, they take the Game 3 win. This is going to a Game 4 now with MUFC down 2-1. They're back against the wall in this game. Well, they're back against the wall in this series. They must win Game 4 to take it to a 5th deciding game. Can MUFC do it? They took an impressive Game 1 victory here, but now they're playing from behind, something which they haven't had to do yet in this series.
It's going to be a very tough uphill climb, to say the least. And Orange, you know, they are the team that, well, the final boss, really. They're the top Southeast Asian Dota team. Sure, MUFC has taken some games off of them, won some tournaments against them, even in the finals, but they haven't shown they can do it consistently. They haven't shown they can do it also with Orange now practicing a bit more and, you know, getting what it seems to be a bit more of a serious approach. They started off slow, but GoDz, they're heating up. Let's see if they can catch on fire. Game 4 is coming up soon. You're watching the GEST Dota 2, brought to you by Beyond the Summit, presented to you by DotaTalk.com. Of course, they are the organizers, the administrators for this event. Be sure to follow the GEST, facebook.com/GEST Dota 2. Be sure to support Dota Talk as well, facebook.com/Dota Talk. And last but not least, if you enjoy our casting, Facebook, twitter.com/GGNet GoDz and LD Dota. VODs for today, all the games will be available on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/LD Dota, and GoDz, youtube.com/GoDz Studios. Thanks all very much for tuning in. We do appreciate the big turnout and the support for these Southeast Asian teams. Let's see what happens in Game 4. It's coming up in just a few moments' time.